Good evening. I'm Leland Vittert. Welcome to the fairest show on television, now just 2 hours away from President Biden's State of the Union, where he will declare our democracy, quote, bruised. It will be a very, very different State of the Union from last year. For starters, Republican Speaker Kevin McCarthy will stand behind him as President Biden enters now a divided Congress. The White House says this will be a unity speech where he asks Republicans to help him finish the job for the middle class, although he's speaking to many of the people in the chamber behind me that he has labeled ultra MAGA and called themselves threats to democracy. A speech, if you will, of opposites in contrast to each other. He's speaking to an American public largely discontent. Fewer than 1 in 4 Americans say they are satisfied right now with the direction of the country, which is a difficult position for the president, since he can rightfully point out unemployment is the lowest in 50+ years. That's on top of a recent blockbuster jobs report showing an economy that created more than 500,000 jobs. We will hear a lot about those numbers as he lists what he calls his accomplishments tonight. He's also the only Democratic president since Carter to face the possibility of a primary challenge, so he must rally the left wing of his party, which is about as unhappy with the Biden presidency as are many Republicans. No State of the Union is easy. The stakes are always high, but the China spy balloon has only made things more complicated for a White House that felt embattled to a certain extent already because of the classified documents scandal. We start with Blake Burman up Pennsylvania Avenue at the White House ahead of the president's departure. Good evening, Blake.
Hi there, Leland. Good evening. You hit on a couple themes that the White House has been focusing on leading into tonight's State of the Union address. First off, the economy and how they will try to position this, an economy that is growing jobs. That is one way that President Biden will talk later this evening about the state of the economy, but also unity and trying to bring Democrats and Republicans together. That theme, of course, comes as the president speaks, as you mentioned before, a divided government tonight. The White House has released some of what the president is going to say later this evening. Let's hit on both of those themes real quick. First off, the president later tonight will say, quote, to my Republican friends, if we could work together in the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together in this new Congress. The people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting, power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere. Leland, the White House has also been trying to focus on the jobs picture, as I mentioned, leading up to this speech. The unemployment rate, the lowest it's been since 1969. One of the reasons they're focusing on jobs is because every time you talk about jobs, you seemingly don't have to talk about inflation. Here's what President Biden will say as it relates to the economy. Quote, jobs are coming back. Pride is coming back because of the choices we made in the last 2 years. This is a blue-collar blueprint, he will say, to rebuild America and make a real difference in your lives. Giving the rebuttal for Republicans tonight is the governor of Arkansas, Sarah Sanders, the youngest governor in America, the first woman to be the governor of her state, and, of course, the former press secretary over here at the White House in the Trump administration. She will paint an entirely different picture. We just got, Leland, a little bit of what she will say this evening, and at one point she'll say in her rebuttal, quote, in the radical left's America, Washington taxes you and lights your hard-earned money on fire, but you get crushed with high gas prices, empty grocery shelves, and our children are taught to hate one another on account of their race, but not to love one another or our great country. The president speaks in a couple hours' time, Leland, from that building behind you here in Washington, the nation's capital. Leland?
Indeed. Blake, back to you. If you get any more from the White House. Also, the first time the president will be behind me in front of a full chamber, both the full House and the full Senate. Now back together again. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.